Hi, my name is Lauren and today I'll be presenting to you a presentation on human resources. HR is a field that deals with the day-to-day functions of companies, including all employee-related information. The functions within human resources affect all currently employed people. I will be explaining to you why all companies should direct face-to-face interviews and veer away from webcam interviews, why companies should incorporate pre-employment testing, and why companies should use staffing agencies. First of all, using face-to-face interviews is one of the oldest and most widely used methods of conducting primary research. Face-to-face interviews are conducted by a market researcher and target respondent in the street, home, office, and meeting place. There are many advantages to using face-to-face interviews. First of all, it allows for more in-depth data collection and comprehensive understanding. Because you are directly with someone, you can feel their presence and you can understand what they are trying to say, whereas if you are not directly with somebody, they may be rubbing off on you a way that they aren't really trying to rub off on you. Second of all, body language and facial expressions are more clearly identified and understood. When you are directly with somebody, you can see how they are reacting to a question, you can see what is upsetting them, you can see how they are responding, and sometimes you can also tell if somebody is just not all there or is not intrigued in the position. The last reason to use face-to-face interviews is because the interviewer can probe for explanations and responses. You're right there with somebody, so asking questions, you're able to get a direct response from the person that you were speaking with. I conducted a research here at Moraine Park. I spent some time and I interviewed 10 different people. I just asked them one simple question. I said, would you prefer a face-to-face interview or over webcam? 9 out of the 10 people said that they would like the face-to-face much more because it sounds so much more professional. And then one person said that it didn't really matter to them. Some positions required to use webcam if it was not a safe position, or such as. As you can tell, a lot of people are going for the face-to-face just because it is so much more direct, and being with somebody is so much more welcoming than having to speak to someone via webcam. My second point was that pre-employment testing should be used for all companies. It increases employee retention and reduction in costs associated with turnover. Pre-employment testing can increase employee retention by ensuring that new employees have the basic aptitude required for the job. Because pre-employment testing is specifically on sometimes personalities, sometimes characteristics, or sometimes things that are specific for that job, it narrows it down to the correct candidates. It is also a great way to let your recruiters spend more time with only qualified candidates. Assessments save your organization time and money by letting your professional focus their time with candidates that meet the benchmark or the competencies for the job. This is specifically important for organizations that have a small recruiting team or just want to leverage their recruiting talent in other ways. The last reason to go towards pre-employment testing is because it is used to screen out candidates that are likely to display risky behavior. This means that you're making meaningful decisions based off of each step. Your process should provide clear, job-related, and consistent answers to these questions by screening out quick candidates that do not meet the correct criteria. My last reasoning was that all companies should veer towards staffing agencies. Staffing agencies are great because it reduces costs, it specializes expertise, and it reduces time. Staffing agencies specialize in placing the right person in the right job. This is why many staffing agencies offer other candidates for certain industries. These specialized staffing firms are experts in the industries that they deal with. They have a large database of pre-screened candidates to choose from, ensuring that the perfect match is not hard to fill. The actual recruitment process of a staffing agency is lengthy and typically more involved than an in-house recruiting process. Some staffing agencies actually also go through the pre-employment testing process, like I had stated earlier. Here is an example of a pre-employment test. I don't know if you can see this or not, but here on the right-hand side of the screen, it says the meaning. In the middle, you would choose your score, and then on the left-hand side, it says traits. So for example, it says faith in people. You would choose your answer between 1 and 10. This person had selected 9. Decisiveness. This person had selected 2. Adaptability, this person selected 2. As you can see, they're not all like this. Some of them actually are just yes or no questions. Some of them are ranked based on numbers, and the higher score you rate, sometimes the higher you're likely to get the job. Sometimes there is a negative effect of doing pre-employment tests because people aren't always honest, but because if you're not honest, it is pretty obvious when you're actually at the workplace that the traits you displayed on the test aren't the traits that you're displaying in the workplace. Last but not least, I also provided a video. This is just a video explaining how staffing agencies work.
The employment agency acts as the bridge between the two parties. How does the agency bridge the gap? Well, it all starts when a job seeker applies for work through the agency. The agency might have attracted the job seeker via a variety of means: help wanted ads, online job boards, word of mouth, or even a YouTube video, like the one you're watching right now. What does the employment agency do for the job seeker? Basically, the agency does everything it can to match the job seeker to the right job and put them to work. The job seeker is taken through the application process, and if all goes well, becomes the agency's employee. The employee is then sent out on loan to an employer for which the agency charges a fee to that company. This is a free service for the employee. If you cross paths with an employment agency that wants to charge you to find you a job, be wary. What does the employment agency do for the employer? The employers are, in reality, the agency's clients. The agency serves their clients' interests by finding them the right people for their jobs. The client is charged a fee when the right employee is found, which is how an employment agency makes money. The employment agency provides many services to their clients, including interviews, screening, human resource services, workers' comp, and more. Sometimes the agency will send an employee to a client to start work right away. Other times, they'll first need to submit the job seeker's resume for an interview. Now, depending on the situation, the employment agency will provide the job seeker with guidance. They might help with the resume, provide interview tips, or other advice, as it's in the employment agency's interest that the job seeker gets the job. But that's only true if they found the right person. Sending an unqualified person out to a job will compromise the agency's relationship with their client. Also, it's just not a good situation for the job seeker. At Your Employment Solutions, our mission is to send the right person to the right job the first time and every time. We want to make sure our employees are hired for a job that fits their best interests. If a job seeker is sent for an interview and gets the job, they're generally put to work as soon as possible. Now, the length of time that a job seeker remains an employee of the agency will vary. Some jobs are temporary, others are long-term but indefinite. Some clients work the employee on a trial basis, say 90 days before extending a permanent offer of employment with their company. Some employers will execute a direct hire right away. Alternatively, if a job seeker interviews and doesn't get the job, or decides in a professional manner that the job isn't a good fit, an employment agency can sometimes provide other job options, which is another advantage of working with a staffing company. A job seeker can apply to many different jobs via one application. And that's it. That's how employment agencies work. Like I said, simple. If you have any questions or want to work with the best employment agency in Utah, give Your Employment Solutions a call or visit any one of our locations in Salt Lake, Ogden, or Logan. You can also...
Alright, as you can see, employee agencies are great for companies to use. However, they do come at a cost, but you're usually getting the right candidates and the ones that are highly qualified. So that's a great pro of using staffing agencies. Overall, as you can see, directing face-to-face interviews, using staffing agencies, and conducting pre-employment tests will all benefit companies. I think that everyone should start veering towards these methods because it would benefit both the company and the employer itself. Thank you for watching.